Hi, my name is Bailey Hillman. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 7 stages of dementia. I get this question a lot. So whether it's you yourself who has a new diagnosis of dementia, or maybe your loved one has a diagnosis, this is a very common question, as well as a fear. What does it look like? What stage am I in? How many stages of dementia are there? What can I expect next? And so I want to help answer a lot of those questions today. So I'm going to go over each stage so that you understand the 7 stages. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you a little bit about stages that I use in long-term care in order to make it shorter and a little bit easier to understand. So let's get started. So stage 1 is no impairment. So you go 1 to 7, 1 being the very first stage. So in stage number 1, you have no impairment. This is normal cognition, no problems. It is very rare for any of us to be stage 1. Okay, I wouldn't even consider myself stage 1 within this staging. Stage 2 is very mild cognitive impairment. So what this means is that you might forget where you place the keys, right? I do that all the time, okay? I can't find my keys or my wallet. And so remember that sometimes our forgetfulness is not because of our cognition, but more because our society today is so busy. Okay, I am so busy that at times my brain is going 90 to nothing and I cannot remember one thing to the next anyway. And so it may just be stress or your busyness that's causing you to have memory impairment. Okay, so forgetting your keys, walking in and trying to talk to someone and thinking, oh my goodness, I cannot remember what I was going to tell you, having to go back and then hopefully it's sparking the memory. That is very normal, but that is what stage 2 would be considered. So I myself would be probably a stage 2 on the staging. Stage 3 is mild cognitive impairment. Okay, so this is very mild. However, other people start noticing whenever you have, whenever you're at this stage. So if you're starting to notice, there's something not right about dad, right? Or there's just something not right about mom. They're repeating conversations that they've already had, and you're like, wait a second, I think we just had this conversation. They're forgetful, okay? They have difficulty in their work performance. So let's say that you're still working, maybe in your 60s or 70s, and all of a sudden it's impairing your work performance, and you're thinking, man, I'm not at the top of my game anymore. And it's really impairing my ability to perform the tasks that I typically do on a daily basis. Poor organization, okay? I'm not organized anyway, so do not even judge me off this. So organization, maybe, if they're very organized in the beginning and now not so much. Difficulty problem solving, okay? So if you can't figure out how to fix something, okay, there's no problem solving skills. It's really difficult for you to come up with solutions. That would be stage 3. All right, so no impairment stage 1, very mild stage 2, and mild for stage 3. The next stage is stage 4. This is moderate. Okay, so moderate stage. These signs are evident and very clear at this point that there is something going on cognitively. Okay, there is no doubt that the cognition is impaired at this point. And this is when typically you will see individuals go out and get help from their physician. You might also start seeing them consider placement. They're withdrawing socially because they know that there is something wrong. Okay, you might feel like, everybody's starting to notice. They're starting to make comments about it, and you start to withdraw, or your loved one starts to withdraw. You see a lot of moodiness with this stage. Okay, so individuals being moody. You might also see a bunch of denial, okay, at stage 4, and that's okay. It's very typical, even for the loved ones to start denying. Oh no, it cannot be dementia. It cannot be a dementia. With mom, that's not why she's forgetting, and making other excuses. There's a lot of denial in stage 4 because they're still very aware that something's not right. Okay, my memory, my cognition is not like it was before. So that is stage 4. Stage 5 is moderately severe. All right, moderately severe cognitive impairment. This is the stage that you or your loved one is most likely going to need help with routines. Okay, so routines start to be a difficult task for you. And so your normal getting up and getting ready, you're starting to forget how to complete that task. So for instance, I was working with a family member and she swore up and down that her husband was on purpose coming down to the top of the stairs after he had gotten up without his pants on. She swore he was doing it on purpose. It was on purpose. He's doing that on purpose to make me upset. And that was not the case at all. It was that he was at this stage where he was not able to complete those daily routines that he had always done in the past. Therefore, he was coming out without his pants on because he couldn't remember to get them to put them on or couldn't find them. Okay, that daily routine starts to become difficult. All right. And there's quite a bit of memory. It's not just forgetfulness any longer. So the other stages are more just forgetfulness. Okay, you're just forgetting. At this stage, it turns into actual memory loss. Okay, so you are actually losing memory. So your normal personal details, all of this is decreased now. So you have lost a lot of the memory. Okay, it's not just you forgetting; it's actual memory loss, or your loved one actually losing uh, parts of their memory. There's also still poor problem solving. Okay, problem solving just gets worse. Okay, as we go and progress through the stages, problem solving gets worse, which makes safety a very big concern. Okay, so stage 5 into stage 4, in the end of stage 4 and into stage 5, where problem solving isn't impacted, that is where you want to start really considering, okay, safety, okay, with driving and tasks like that. Stage 3, actually, you can start having difficulty with driving. So driving in stage 4 and stage 5 is not really encouraged. Okay, so you want to be aware if you're taking care of a loved one and they're still driving, you want to be aware of that and ensure that when they get out to go somewhere, you either have a way to track their cell phone or track the car, or you yourself are following them. So that's very important. So that is stage 5. Stage 6 is severe. Okay, this is severe stage, and this is when your loved one is going to have difficulty eating. Okay, they're going to have difficulty doing all of their activities of daily living, or we call them ADLs, which are dressing, bathing, grooming. It gets very difficult for them to participate in these activities, and they're going to need a lot of assistance. Stage 5 to stage 6 is when you see a lot of individuals ending up in nursing facilities or private home caregivers, going to adult day programs in order to complete their daily routines. This stage also comes with a lot of paranoia. You can have paranoia across, any stage, but this one you're going to see some paranoia, or you could possibly see paranoia, and then a lot more sleep. So an increased amount of sleeping. Stage 7 is your last stage. This is very severe cognitive decline. All right. And this stage, they're not able to communicate any longer, definitely not able to ambulate or walk any longer, not really speaking. Okay, they're not going to be able to speak at stage 7, and they lose a lot of motor control. So movements and things are decreased. And so stage 7 is the last stage. And this stage is just very important to keep an individual comfortable. Okay, at this point, a lot of times you'll see quite a bit of falls at this stage because they feel safest on the ground, on firm surfaces. Okay, they feel like they're floating in space unless they're secure and safe on a firm surface. And so stage 7, you may see quite a few falls. So this is more your severe stage. And so in saying that, there are 7 stages, okay? And I would not worry if I was a caregiver, or even you, if you've been diagnosed, I wouldn't worry or fret about what stage am I in, how long am I going to be in this stage, when am I going to move to the next stage, or when's my loved one going to move to the next stage. Everyone progresses very differently through the stages of dementia. okay, very differently. You could be in stage 4 or 5 for a very, very long time, years, okay, years. Or you could be there for a very short time, okay. Early onset, whenever you get diagnosed at a younger age, you typically see that it progresses quicker. Again, everyone is so different. All right. I was listening to an individual who has dementia that continued to speak and educate. And he said, when you see one person with dementia, you've seen one person. Okay. You've seen one person. You are one person. Your progression or your loved one's progression in this disease process is going to be a lot different than other individuals. So the quick tips that I was going to give is that you don't need to necessarily worry about 7 stages. Okay, so all 7 stages. I like to describe, when I'm working in healthcare, and our physicians do the same thing that I work with, we just do mild, moderate, severe. Okay, mild, moderate, severe. Mild stage is when they're able to participate in ADLs, activities of daily living, like the dressing and grooming and such. They need assistance. Okay, so like standby assistance. I can cue them, but they can complete the task. They might forget a routine, but I can get them back on track and they're able to complete it. Conversation's good. Okay, the social withdrawal is there. Okay, it's harder to get them out to do group activities because of the embarrassment. Okay, they know that there's something wrong, they're just not quite sure, so they're embarrassed about it. Moderate stage is where they need even more increased assistance with ADLs. They're not able to complete their routines. They are incontinent at this point. And then so with incontinence, at moderate stage, you know, they're going to need a lot more assistance going to the restroom, maybe forgetting to go to the restroom, having accidents. They definitely need assistance in starting conversations. Okay, they're not going to be ones that initiate a lot of conversations. It's going to be more difficult for them to make their needs known. So you might see behaviors in moderate stage where they're trying to communicate with you by having a behavior. So you want to be very aware that if I'm acting out, whether aggressively, whether I'm just making noises or screaming help, 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 it's not because I'm trying to be annoying or upset you. It's because I need something. I'm not able to make my needs known. You see that quite a bit with the moderate stage. A lot of times, moderate stage, you're still able to ambulate. Okay, they're still able to walk and get around, depending on the other comorbidities, other things that they may have had in the past. You know, it may make it more difficult for them to get around. So that would be moderate stage. In severe stage, this is where they're impaired with their mobility. So they're not able to get up and move around as easy. They're not able to feed themselves. A lot of times at the end stage of the severe stages, they stop eating completely. That's why it's really important not to worry about the calorie intake or weight gain unless there's a cardiac issue, because at some point in the disease process, your loved one will start losing weight. And so it's important to not be thin and, have low weight at that stage, because then you're just going to lose even more. And so severe is no conversation, a lot of times sleeping a lot, really needing to focus more just on sensory and comfort. Okay, so that's more your end stage of dementia. So you can either base it off your 7 stages if you're, wanting to know all the details. Typically, you'll see just from stage 4 to stage 7 as to where you really see the memory loss. Okay, not just forgetfulness, but memory loss. That's whenever the diagnosis usually gets given, is between stage 4 and 5. Stage 5 is where we see a lot of nursing home admissions coming in. Or you could just say, mild to severe, not even worrying about the stages of forgetfulness in the beginning of the staging process. So again, staging with dementia it's good to know, but again, it's not the only thing you need to know. Remember that your individual that you're caring for, your loved one, you yourself still have abilities. Okay, focus on your abilities. Keep as independent as possible for as long as possible. Okay, so if I can't remember how to get myself completely dressed, but I can still put my shirt on, let me still put my shirt on. Okay, if I can't tie my shoes, but I can get my shoes on, at least let me put my shoes on. Okay, so keep me as independent as possible, as long as possible. Focus on my abilities, not what I'm losing or going to lose in the next stage. And you will be fine. Okay. It's one of those that if you get just so caught up in the stages, it can make you very anxious and upset. Okay. So focus on abilities, not necessarily just the losses, because it can definitely cause a lot of depression and anxiety for you if you're the one being diagnosed, and even as well if you are a caregiver. So I'm hoping that these 7 stages and the 3 stages of dementia have kind of helped explained a little bit about what we're looking at whenever we're looking at the progression of the disease process. If you have any questions, please reach out. We have a Facebook group, Everything Dementia Support Group on Facebook. Make sure to join, like, share. If you will, subscribe down below so that you're able to know whenever new videos are coming. And please leave comments. Okay, leave comments for us. Let us know the questions that you have and anything that we can help you with. We are here to serve you. God bless. Have a great day.